I'm Shane Nyland, and my co host is Blake Musser. And these stories you're about to hear are from Weapons Company, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, 1st Marine Division, about the events surrounding and directly from the mouths of the people who were in Ramadi 2004. I don't know a lot of Map 1 stories, so I think it's gonna be fucking interesting because I know some because we talked some, but I don't know, for some reason we were on opposite schedules, so I just didn't get to see you as much over there as I used to.
Sounds good. But since you talked about dicks, I have a funny story.
All right, good. Well, let's start.
It includes somebody from 81s.
That's good. Let's start from the beginning and just have you introduce yourself and what platoon you were with, and then after that, please tell your dick story.
All right. Louie Fuentes. I was with Map 1. Are you guys calling it Weapons Company or Map Company?
No, that's good. Weapons Company's good.
Okay. I like Weapons Company more. And was with everybody from I think I got to 2-4 and 01.
Yep.
And the end of 01 because you guys were on Christmas break when I got there. And yeah, it was funny. I'm probably the only Marine in the Marine Corps. Well, there's other guys. When we went to boot camp, I never stood on the yellow footprints.
I didn't either.
Really?
Yeah. No, I did not. No.
Yeah.
Yep. Never stood on the yellow footprints. Never had a DI jump on a bus and yell at me to get off the bus or any of that. I showed up in a van and in the middle of the night, driven by a Lance Corporal who told me to shut the fuck up and walked me slowly to the thing with like 6 or 7 other dudes.
Yeah, nice. I didn't get that. We were on a bus, but we arrived to San Diego, MCRD in San Diego at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and there's a drill instructor that came on the bus and in like civilian PT gear, like those green jumpsuits back in the early 2000s, and he's just like, "Don't say anything, get off the bus and follow me." And yeah, and sat in a gym for like 8 hours.
Nice. Yeah, it's interesting how the experience is so variable across everybody. Everybody always has they think there's this universal experience that you're going to get. It's definitely not true.
Nope. But so
well, you wanted to start out with a funny story, man. Tell me your dick story.
So we're in Ramadi, right? We're in our hooch one morning. I don't know how it gets brought up, but Marines always talk about cock. Like it just gets brought up, dude. And
even right now, that's good.
Yeah. But so Justin Harrison, black dude in Map 1. I don't know. I stepped into the conversation late, and he's talking about there's no way a white dude has a bigger dick than a fucking black dude. And
I know where this is going.
So, you're talking about it, and it's like, as a kid going in the bathroom and spinning around yelling Bloody Mary, and see if something's going to pop out. Well, when you're talking about cock, who shows up? Joe.
Mm-hmm. Every time.
Yeah. And so it's just like Joe walks into our hooch and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And we're just like, "Hey, Joe, show Harrison your fucking cock." And it was so funny because Harrison's like, no, not right here. It's just like, dude, we're in the middle of this squad bay hooch in Ramadi. Like, who the fuck cares? And he's like, "Look, we'll go in the back." And the two of them go in the back, and you hear Justin go, "Oh my God." And they come back. He's just like, "Yeah, white dude has a bigger cock than a black dude."
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was my that's the one thing I will never forget is that moment. It's just like, here we are, in the middle of, bumfuck nowhere, and you got guys talking about whose cock's bigger for whatever race.
Right.
But yeah, that was my. I'll never forget it. It's kind of funny because Joe came driving through with his wife through Salt Lake one time, and we met. My wife and I met him for dinner at the sushi place. I actually brought that up, and I was just like thinking about it later. I was just like, how gay did I sound in there?
I wonder, his wife is the nicest person on the planet, and I wonder if she gets tired of hearing dick stories from his friends. Because I think everybody has a Joe Hercher dick story.
Oh yeah, one of the funniest was before we deployed to Ramadi, Captain Weiler. He's just like, we were walking. I don't know why I was with him, but he's just like, "Hey, Fuey, is it true about Hercher?" And I was just like, "What, sir? You never seen it?" And he's just like, "No." I was like, "Well, we could go. I'll go get him and show you."
There's no way General Weiler now would admit to that. I'm sure. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
That's fucking hilarious.
But yeah, it was kind of that was one of, I think, the funny moments of like, of the situations that we were in back then. Like, those are the things I try to remember and laugh at later on in life.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. Some of the antics that we got up to in the hooches, whether it's in Iraq or anywhere, are literally some of my favorite memories ever of the absolute. Well, what bored young men get up to when
Yeah, it's definitely a interesting life.
So
did you guys get anything weird in the mail that created for some antics over there on that larger topic?
Not me. I got a lot of food all the time. You know what I mean? I was a fat kid, by the way, which, Nick, I know, like, you're the one that started Fuey, the nickname.
Yeah.
And when you guys went to Okinawa, we were at that gun comp. And when we got there, you're like, dude, there's a fat Fuey. I became fat Fuey, dude. I put on like 40 pounds and I'm like, damn, I'm fat Fuey now.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm really trying to lose some weight. I was just like, damn, I don't do anything. I work behind a desk and I work part-time at a gun store just to talk to people and play with guns.
Nice. Yeah, it's weird.
Did you pick up a... Oh, go ahead.
Nah, that's all right. I was going to say, it's weird how fast those habits die from literally PTing every day, once or twice a day, to nothing. What were you going to say, Blake?
Did you, speaking that you're working at a gun store now, did you ever pick up any secondary weapons while you're in Ramadi?
No.
When certain individuals were no longer using them?
No.
No?
We came across a lot, but like, nah. If it was anything was going to happen, I was just going to pull the trigger.
Sure.
This was like, oh, well.
Yeah, I ended up picking up a pistol for myself just because I didn't have I had my rifle, but 81s didn't get issued sidearms. So
I don't think gunners were the only ones that had them.
There was a few people who had them because I had a pistol, but there was not many. And I don't even know why I had it, but I had a pistol.
Well, you were in the turret, right? Or
no, I was a vehicle commander.
No,
I jumped in the turret a few times for different things that happened, but mostly I was vehicle commanding and largely running the radio and directing traffic and everything. So who was in? I mean, we all rode in trucks basically. Who was in your truck team?
When we first got there, it was Jax, Chico, and Cackley, which insane. Like, we went to that 20-year reunion, last year?
Year ago, yeah.
And it was crazy because I don't know if I knew it at the time or I just forgot, but Kennedy was talking about, what was it? How there's a group of Marines that showed up like 2 weeks before we deployed.
Yes.
And I was just like, really? We had guys like that showed up 2 weeks, and Cactus like, that was me, dude. And I was just
Yeah.
like, what? Seriously, dude? And I'm just like, holy crap, dude! I thought you were there longer with us. Like, never knew that.
Yep.
Or if I did, I forgot.
I mean, and we integrated people very quickly, but yeah, same. We had a couple of guys, I think in every platoon that showed up about 2 to 4 weeks right before we left. And then we spent that, 3 weeks in Kuwait. So we had a little bit of time to bond there and do minimal training. And then did you drive up or did you fly up
No,
from
I was.
Ramadi?
We drove up.
Yeah,
That was so it was map one. I think you guys were on a separate convoy
we were.
from us, but we were with uh, Captain Weiler and that group, and
Okay.
we had I want to say he was from Goth, one of the lieutenants and a staff sergeant.
Oh, okay.
But Lieutenant Hessner and Staff Sergeant Rodriguez,
Hmm.
and they put us in the middle of the convoy, and we were, blocking traffic while the convoy was going, and Chico drove through really quick, like on the sidewalk and everything, and we halted for like an hour because there was an IED that it blew up that we probably drove over, but it hit some of the convoys, like the air wing that we were escorting up. I was like, oh, okay, this is real.
Yeah. Yeah, there was
But
a couple. There's a couple of different IEDs that popped on the way up. And did any of your guys get hit in that convoy or no?
I think the part of the somebody from the air wing got hurt, but nothing serious or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was about it. And um, I do remember it was a squad, and it was a funny moment, like because we were in the middle, and so like we were away from everybody else. But it was just this squad, a lieutenant and staff sergeant, and we went to like meet up with the CO Weiler, and like we were talking, like they were just briefing everybody. We stopped at one of those locations, like fill up, rest, and everything, and
Mhm.
we're there, and we're walking back, and like Captain Weiler is like, "Hey, food, make sure you know this," and I was like, "All right," and we're walking back, and Lieutenant Hessner's like, "Hey, Lance Corporal Fuentes," and I was like, "What's up, sir?" And he's just like, "Is it okay if I call you Fuey?" And I was just like, "Yeah, sir, it's a nickname." I was like, "Everybody calls me Fuey." But yeah, it was pretty funny. Like, and there was they had told me, they were like, "Hey, Fuey, make sure nothing happens to this lieutenant or any of their guys, and make sure you keep track of them at all times." And I'm just like looking, and I'm just like, I'm a lance corporal. He has a staff sergeant, and he's a lieutenant. Like, why do I got to keep an eye on him?
I remember that from Cat though. Even before we split off into the map platoons, you were always treated like basically an NCO, even when you were a PFC and a Lance Corporal, because you were old. But yeah, that's funny. I remember you always catching a lot of extra responsibility.
I don't know why. That was the least person that should have had any responsibility. Or how McAuliffe would say later on, he's just like, "Dude, you're perma-stoned." I was like, "What the hell is that?" He's like, "You're permanently stoned, dude." I'm like, "Oh my God."
So you said you drove up with Cackley, Chico, and Jax, but then did you change once you got there?
We got a high back when they
Mhm.
started giving
Oh.
this to the high backs. So they combined, like they wanted that dismount squad. So
Yeah.
they put like Anthony and my truck together. So it was like Anthony, Pace, Jax, Harrison, Chico, me, and one time like Minor at one time was with us too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they took that away, and then there was that time where they're like, no more high backs. You guys need to be right in up armored. So ended up getting put in. I think that's when we went from like 5 trucks to 4 trucks at a time.
Hmm. That's a pretty full high back too. I mean, that makes a pretty good target of opportunity, right? To hit a
Oh
high back
yeah,
with that many Marines in the back of it. Hmm.
yeah. There was there's a few of us back there. I don't. Luckily, like unfortunately, stuff happened, but nobody got hurt. Like in our platoon. But to go off subject, do you guys remember? Now that you have to. It was when Jackson Chico broke the clue.
Oh yeah.
I still don't know. I still have never asked Jax, like, what were you guys doing? Like, how did it fall off the bridge?
Yeah, no one knows. Yeah, but like, I mean, those things are what, $100,000, and he dropped it
Yeah.
off the North Bridge post. Yeah,
And then held an Iraqi at gunpoint early in the daylight morning to pick up all the pieces.
Yep. Yep. It's awesome. Yeah, we were talking about that North Bridge post, I don't know, a couple days ago. And did you go up there? Were you one of the
Yeah,
ones that
I
went
was
up
up there. Like when we first got there, they're just like, you're only a lance corporal, so you're going up there. And I was just like, whatever. So I would go up there and hang out with somebody. But then they were like, oh, we need I don't know, whatever happened. It could have been from your platoon when that incident happened, but then they were like, an NCO needs to be up there too, or someone senior.
there? Oh, potentially. Yeah, you mean when the guys got caught drinking and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's when they were just like, okay, you're gonna go up with, somebody else. But yeah, it was one of those like, okay, whatever, I don't care. I'm just here to do whatever. Because like we had Santiago and Anthony as
Right.
our sergeants in the platoon, and then Garcia, Pacheco, Minor, Solis. I forget for NCO.
I didn't know Minor started off in your platoon. I thought he was always with headquarters.
He was with headquarters, and then they sent him over to us. What I don't know, whatever reasons, but
there was that weird reshuffling in like May or June. I don't remember the exact date, but it's the same. They took people from our platoon and reshuffled around like people to be.
Is that when they were given? They gave a lot of 81s. Like they gave an 81s like someone that actually knew how to use the tow.
Like
actually gave
over to your guys' platoon.
Yeah,
we got two machine gunners.
Yeah,
like 31s. Level. Not just someone that kind of knew how to load it.
Right.
So okay, that makes all sense. I just remember like Minor showing up, and I was just like, cool, dude. At least it's Minor. Like it's not somebody that is new. Like some of those combat replacements that, don't get me wrong, some of them were good, but some of them were weird too.
Yeah. Did you? I mean, I actually liked all of our combat replacements. I felt they were pretty. We had pretty good, but I didn't have anybody that was weird. Do you have some weird ones?
We had one weird dude. I don't know. He wasn't weird. He was just loud.
Oh,
and it was just like, dude, be quiet. Like, no one really like cares. Like,
I know.
But, yeah,
I know our replacements. Not all of our guys made it easy for them to integrate. I always tried to be welcoming and stuff like that, but I know ours. Well, I also we had a couple difficult Marines in leadership positions in mind, and so they were
just not.
That we're not warm fuzzy people.
The funny thing is, I went to Drake's retirement when he retired, and no joke, Captain Smith was there.
Oh wow!
And First Sergeant Lee, and Drake was just like, "Dude, you remember First Sergeant Lee?" I was like, "Yeah." He was just like, "That's him," and I was just like, "Whoa." That dude blew up.
Oh, did he?
I was just like, I would not have recognized him if, like compared to like, I bleed scarlet to, hey, I'm a biker now. And I'm just like, holy shit.
How is Drake? Because Drake was your platoon sergeant, right? Because Crawford was your platoon commander.
Yeah. And, so then he ended up, becoming a battalion gunner.
Drake did?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. I didn't know he went to the warrant officer school and all that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he ended up being the gunner. I ran into him like he was in with 3-5 in Singan. He was their gunner there, and I ran into him out there.
Good for him. He was always a smart dude. All except for diving into that shitter water.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
You want to tell that story? Because I wasn't there for it, but I saw the aftermath.
Oh, dude. So you remember what did they call themselves back then? CAG.
Yeah.
Combat Operations Group or something. They would tell everybody, but they were the Civil Affairs Group.
Yep.
So we were escorting them out, and your gunners are supposed to, keep an eye on the truck behind them, make sure nothing's going on. And we're going to the government center, and Crawford took all those back streets all the time, and not just run the gauntlet. He did once in a while. He just didn't like it, so we were taking these back streets, and I think I was the third vehicle, and all the civil fare trucks were behind my truck. And we're pulling into the government center, and like Jax goes, "Hey, Fuey, there's nobody behind us."
That's a terrible feeling.
Like, I was just like, what? Chico stops, I get out, I look down the street, there's nobody there. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I go, hey, sir, there's no trucks behind us. And he's just like, what do you mean? And he's like, I was like, there's nobody behind us. He's like, hey, backtrack now. Dude, backed up, ran through where we were what we drove through and everything. And we found him, and we found everybody, and there's the Humvee upside down in the shitter sewer. And it was just like, fuck. They all got out. Nobody was in there, but it was I think at the time, there was maybe 2 majors and a colonel in the truck with the lance corporal.
Yep.
Had a corpsman behind the gun. That truck was like upside down in the shitter canal.
Yeah.
And,
it was in like a 16-foot by 16-foot slurry pit. It was so gross, dude.
It smelled so bad. And like, we were just like, what the fuck? And like, at this time, like, well, the record's going to be coming out and we got to wait. And we were waiting, and like Drake's, like when they pulled the truck out, like there's weapons missing. And Drake's like, dude, somebody needs to go in there and get that stuff. And this is one of the rare occasions, like it's funny to talk to Drake today, and where he was at then to when he got out, like becoming the leader that he became. He's just like, all right, I'm gonna do it because I can't make any of you guys do it. Like, he was talking to just the senior dudes. He's like, if I'm gonna make somebody do it down the road, I'm gonna have to do it first. And so he jumped in and grabbed all the weapons. Yeah, probably one of the nastiest things I encountered. I was just like, dude, you're gonna have to get shots.
Yeah, I don't, and he didn't get sick either, which was amazing. I was sure he was gonna get super sick.
Yeah, that truck was nasty. Ended up back in our base.
Yeah, oh yeah,
at Hurricane Point.
Yeah, covered in shit, and no one else ever took it out again. They hosed it out and left it there, and they farmed it for parts. They never did fix it.
I was just like, oh my God, that's disgusting.
I think we were your quick reaction force for that one, because I think you were taskable that day, because I remember being out there for it being upside down, still out there. Maybe we went out and maybe escorted the wrecker in.
Oh, you might have, because there was like 2 or 3 teams that responded to that one. Yeah, and somebody had to escort the wrecker because they brought out that stupid Hercules wrecker that drove 5 miles an hour all the way through town.
I think that's why I got out there, because I remember it still being in the pit upside down.
Yeah, okay. Because there was another time, Civil Affairs, I don't know who, we got called. We were QRS this day, and we got called out, and it was just one of those things. It's like, I don't even know why we went out, because the Humvee was like, I've never seen a Humvee like this, but like there was nothing left other than the frame. Like it was completely burnt. And I was just
Is
like,
that the one
what?
that was way outside of town?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
I
don't
was
even
just
know
like,
this story at all.
yeah, dude, we went out there and I think we were out there for like 10 minutes and it was just like, yo, the wrecker's out here. Whoever brought the wrecker out, it wasn't us. I because it was civil affairs. At the time I didn't know this, but later when I got attached to civil affairs, I realized like why. Like when I was walking up to Lieutenant Crawford's truck, I no joke. There was two F-16s that were probably like 200 feet off the ground, flew right over us, and then went straight up. And then two Cobras like on station right then and there, and it was just like, who the fuck's out here? Finding out when I went to civil affairs, like, dude, civil affairs has nothing but senior officers like that are proficient at what they do. So
Mhm.
you have like the lowest ranking officer is like a captain, which we had like one or two, and everybody else is a major to colonel, full bird colonel,
Hmm.
like from all MOSs. Like I had my uh, deck commander was like a full bird colonel. And like it was just insane. And like realizing like when I got there to civil affairs later down the road, like that's why there's nothing but like senior officers out
Yeah.
there. So yeah, they're gonna bring
Of
out all
course.
the
Yeah, they're gonna bring all the assets for them. Not for a lance corporal, but they'll do it for a colonel.
yeah. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. Like just like holy crap, dude. But yeah, and the other time I will never this one I mean, it was so dumb to go out there. And I remember going out there and like they wanted us to go knock on doors after LAR the night before lit the area up
Yep.
because they
Oh
got
yeah, I
hit.
forgot about that became an investigation later on, but go ahead.
um, so they told us, hey, we're sending you guys out there to go knock on doors to make sure everybody's okay. And I was just like, wait, what? After LAR just lit the fucking place up, you want us to go out and knock on doors? Hey, are you guys okay? I remember walking out there and I was on point, and Lieutenant Croft was like, "Fuey, your weapon's on fire and your finger's on your trigger." I'm like, "Yeah, and it's gonna stay there."
Yeah, that was an interesting incident. I'm trying to remember the date. I thought I had it written down here. Yeah, it was June 7th. June 7th when Mattis went out on Racetrack Road, and it was their LAR unit,
Was
and
the
they
guy?
go ahead.
Was he even with them?
Yes. Yeah, he
Oh,
was
okay.
there. He was in the trucks, and they supposedly took small arms fire and lit up in every direction. Shot everything, including the 25 Mike in every direction. And we both of our platoons, my platoon MAP 2 and his 81's platoon, showed up to relieve that, and we looked around. There was dead people, and there was a lot of dead sheep. But I do not. I think I saw a Glock on the ground, but that could have been an Iraqi police officer who dropped it and ran. I honestly don't know about any further anything. That was crazy. And I did not know that you guys went out the next day to go check on them. So I don't blame you for being nervous. That neighborhood was tore up.
Yeah, it was just like, well, like, hey, you guys are gonna go out and knock on like doors and see if everybody's okay. I'm just like, dude, this is stupid. Like holy crap.
There were a lot of things like that that probably had really good intentions, but just bad execution.
Yeah, I think. And how, none of it, the Marine Corps wasn't prepared to do what happened out there.
Right.
Like, I still have, like, I don't know if it's a jacked up 5x5 card, which had a little box truck with the little dotted line with the little dude with the dynamite, I'm going to blow you up with the IED.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And looking back on it, it's just like, dude, that was the first time the Marine Corps has gone into an area after a war. We never did babysitting, and it was probably the largest relief in place since World War II.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and we were one of the first battalions to go back after the initial invasion, as far as to do what they thought was going to be security and stability operations, but it certainly didn't happen that way.
yeah, definitely not.
I feel like every platoon has a story of going out and like handing out food or going to the hospital or playing soccer with the kids or something like that, but it certainly wasn't the majority of your stories.
No, talking about that one, going to the hospital. I don't know when they were there, but 2-5s, advance party.
Yeah. The advance party came July 14th, or at least that was one of the days they were there. They may have came on the 12th, but I think we started taking them out on the 13th and 14th.
So we escort Bastard 6 and everybody to the hospital to go look around. I'm upstairs with them, holding security, just me and a couple other guys. I have our little walkies that we had to talk to everybody in the trucks.
Yep.
And it was Lieutenant Crawford, Fuey, Dumb Bastard 6, Devil 6 just got hit in the marketplace. And I was just like, oh, God, no. Because we have all these officers, and I was just like, God dang. And I was like, hey, sir. And he's just like, hey, what's up? And he's just like, Crawford just said Devil 6 has been ambushed in the marketplace by small arms and IEDs, and like, he's pinned down. And just like, tell him we're coming down. We're going out. Go get him. And I was just like, oh, dude, this is going to be great. And no joke, like we get to the marketplace, and I don't think the movie was out of, definitely if it was, I'd never seen it. But the movie with the Val Kilmer and everything, bro, it sounded like that. There was gunfire everywhere, like just echoes everywhere, and it was just like, what the fuck? And like I honestly like was like, yeah, it's probably the day I'm gonna die. And like we're just like, what the fuck? Like, don't even know where to go. Like, I'm looking around, and Bastard 6 is in this between two buildings, and Mass Sergeant Humphreys is like, "Fuey, get over here!" And I was just like, like I gotta run across this parking lot to get to where you're at. And he's like, get over here. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna take off. And I sprinted over to where he was at, and there was two explosions, one behind me and one in front of me. And I was just like, oh shit. I kind of like did the feeling around, and it was like, I'm not hit. Turned around, right back to a wall where like I was just like, safe place. And Pace goes like this, hey, Fuey, that wall just got lit up. And I'm just like, yeah, cool. And then Master and I'm just, get over here. I'm like, fuck it. And they're like, hey, you're going to take a couple guys. Devil 6 is pinned down there. You're going to walk them back over here. And it was just like, huh? And I was just like, dude, this can't be happening. Like, what? Like, can he just drive, dude? Like, and nope. We went. It was one of those like crazy things. Like the army dudes were like around this Humvee in this like little corner next to a building. I was just like, hey, where's Devil 6? They're like, he's inside. I'm like, well, let's go. We're gonna get him out and take him over to Bastard 6. And they're like, okay. And he knew they'd come out. We are just gonna walk him down Michigan to where Bastard 6 is at. We get out there. Man, that motherfucker gunned it. Left us a note, and like I was just like, oh, like great. Just looked at everybody like, hey, let's get to the wall, like next to the buildings, and walk back. Because what happened was the Bradleys finally were coming out, and he saw the Bradleys and took off, and it was just like, son of a bitch. And they left. The Bradleys left, and we continued fighting that day out there. And it was that what made it worse was when we had the 2-5 people in Oliver North that was the day it was that Iraqi coalition. They were shooting from that building over there, and I mean they raided that building. They found all these weapons, and for the longest time, I thought those were RPG rounds that it blew up in front of me and behind me. But I think it was Golf Company that had a Mark 19 were shooting at that building, but they were lobbing them over so far it hit in front of me and behind me. I was just like, oh my God, dude.
That'd be ironic for you to get hit by a Mark 19.
Right. But that was so when we got back, I got over to Kennedy, and I was like, hey sir, Devil Six, all those Bradleys, he's took off, he's not here. He's like, yeah, he called me, let me know. And he's like, hey, watch the battalion commander for 2-5. Like, hey, watch a battalion commander. I'm like, I don't like babysitting officers, okay? And there is the captain that was in from 2-5 that had, I don't know, he jacked up his foot and was like on the corner of like this alley, like holding security, but couldn't like stand or kneel. And it was just like, oh my God. I think I called Jackson Chico over and they replaced him. And we threw getting ready to throw him in a Humvee. And he just starts shooting at this gate. And it's just like, he's just like, somebody open the gate. And it's just like, bro, relax. That was when Kennedy was just like, just lob a grenade over it. And like Jackson Trigger was like, oh, can I do it? I was just like, here, you guys can fight over it. They ended up throwing the grenade over it. And it was just like, boom. And then it was just like, turn around. And the battalion commander is like, hey, Lance Corporal, let's go up and clear this building. And I'm just like looking at it, it's like 3 or 4 stores. I'm like, sir, we don't have enough guys to do that. And so like, I'm trying to look for somebody to like call over, like, hey, maybe they could talk this dude out of the stupid shit he has in mind. Turn back, he's already going up the stairs. I was just like, what the fuck? But I think like there was my guardian angel watching over me. The staircase he took went straight to the rooftop. This is one of those stories you don't forget. Like, middle of a firefight, everything's blowing up around outside, and we go up. I remember this rooftop, like there's 2 doors when we get up there next to each other here, 1 door here. He's like, you go that way, I'll go this way. And I'm just like, sir, it's better sticking together. Like, Carl taught us, Carl Meraki. Like, yeah. And I'm just like, it's better stick. No, trust me. I'm just like, God. Kick the first door. It's just a closet. And I'm like, cool. Go into the next room, empty. Another door. I was just like, please, I hope nobody's out there. I open it. There's like 4 dudes in the room just talking. And I'm like, they're like, Mister, no, we're not doing anything. And there's another door, and this colonel comes in from the other side. Like, he almost got shot because I don't know who's coming in. There's this room, sir. I need to clear that. These guys have nothing. There's no weapons here. Like, I made them like lift up their shirts and everything. Okay. And I'll never forget this incident because I kicked that door open, and there's the families of the dudes in this one room eating dinner while there's this goddamn firefight going on outside. And I was just like, fuck, dude. And I was just like, sir, we're going to leave them here. I told the dudes, like, the best that I can. Don't leave. Don't fucking leave. Like, they're like, okay, mister, okay. Like, I'm sure they, left, did something stupid afterwards. But we go back to the outside on this rooftop, and the wall's pretty big. Like, I couldn't see over it unless I was probably standing on, like, something or my tippy toes, like, looking over. This fucking colonel's like, oh, this is a great spot to like look at the battle space and everything, and like looking over the wall and everything. And I'm just like, grab him by his drag handle and pull him down. Like, sir, you got to go downstairs. Like, I'm just a Lance Corporal. Something happens to you, how bad is that going to look? Like, hey, you should have done so. And I was just like, you're done. Just go back downstairs, please. And it didn't surprise me when we Q5 got there later in the deployment, like when we were getting ready to leave, when they were told, oh, we were told not to listen to you guys because you guys didn't know what you were doing here, and like blah blah blah. And then, not even like 5 days down the road, hey, tell us what you know. Like, the shit's not like what they said.
Yeah. Did you end up doing the left seat, right seats with them?
I did, and then but they were just like, we don't need you guys. And it's just like, fine, like, cool, whatever, dude.
Yeah, so you stayed for the September 11th and 12th when it was like basically the whole city uprise against the patrols and the log train and everything in the government center?
By that time, I think I was sent to Hurricane Point when all of that was happening.
Yeah.
And but I know you guys were like, a couple of you guys were still out there.
Yeah, all of my people were still out there, and I think several of the 81s were out there.
Yeah, but Blake. By that time I was just like
almost got his head taken off by an RPG. So
who did?
Blake. His vehicle got hit with an RPG, and he was the only one who walked out of it. And
Jesus, dude.
If you remember Sergeant Diaz? Sergeant Diaz broke his femur from a mortar round that hit at the government center and blew Blake off of a ladder. There were all sorts of excitement that happened. That wasn't necessarily my point to say all that, but just that there was a lot of action as that handoff went. And it was unfortunate that they were told by their senior leadership, and they told us the same thing.
Yep.
Oh, we were told that you guys were
bunch of cowboys.
Exactly. Bunch of cowboys. You guys like to just shoot at anything, and you would just do it. It's like, I don't know, man. I feel like we were pretty reserved compared to what we could have been.
Oh yeah, I think so. But yeah, that's crazy. Like, I was just like, okay, dude, you guys have fun.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that that's the way it had to go too, right?
Yeah, a lot of guys got hurt in a short amount of time because they refused to. They're hires. I don't think at least the guys I was interacting with weren't. They were only repeating back what they were told, but they weren't believing it themselves. At least who I was handing off to.
The dudes that took over for us, it was just like, one of the dudes was like the truck. He was the vehicle commander for the truck that was, he was taking over my stuff. Bro, I looked at him and I was just like, I was just like, dude, you have so many 203 rounds. Like, getting out of the truck's not going to be easy for you, dude. And that's what he told me. Is like, oh, we were told not to listen to you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, cool, bro. Have fun doing whatever you're going to do.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, I was just like, damn. Like, it sucked. I do, when I was with the 223, the battalion gunner there, he had told me, like, he was a staff sergeant in Fallujah somewhere with one of the units there.
Yep.
And how they were just like, oh, Fallujah this, Fallujah that. And he was just like, bro, he was telling me, he was like, when I saw the shit happening in Ramadi, he's just like, dude, do you guys not see what's happening over there? Like, we have like multiple units here. They're one unit. And he's just like, yeah, you guys went through the shit. And I was just like, yeah. And you meet people, and I've met people in the Marine Corps that have said they were in Ramadi when we were there. And I'm just like, well, huh? And they're like, yeah, I was in weapons. And I was just like, no, you weren't. I think in the years past, I'm gonna, like, I don't know what it is, but I forget. I think it was Drake or Rapazzo that actually said it. He's just like, Fuey, you keep in touch with everybody. And I'm just like, I just try to, keep everybody close. Like, even if we don't talk for years, like, all of us could get together and still have, fun doing shit. Because, like, I look at our company, weapons company, like, it was one of those companies, like, at least I know for like MAP before our CAT, when we were CAT in Okinawa, that was a tight group. Like
Very.
we like, we all went out and like had barbecues together and, did a lot together. And it was like, looking at it is just like, dude, that was like lucky. Like that company, like even Meraki had said is like one of the best companies he ever did it. And but like looking back and all of us, all the guys in weapons company, it's amazing. Like with the stuff that we had and the things that we didn't have, and but the things we accomplished in Ramadi,
Yep.
like very little, very like I Nick, you probably could agree or disagree. The stuff that Meraki taught us in Noki is probably one of the things that saved me in Ramadi.
Oh, hands down, hands
Without
down.
question.
Yeah. We talked to Jordan before talking to you for this particular podcast purpose, and we both agreed the same thing: is that he ran the whole company through drills, and his preparation for immediate combat and mount environment and immediate action drills and weapons handling, hands down saved more lives than probably any other preparation that we got. And I say we should build a statue to that man personally, and I hope someday I get a chance to talk to him again. I have not talked to him in 20 years, and I truly thank him for me being alive, because
I do have his number.
Great, I'll get it from you. Yeah. I would love to even just tell him thanks and from Tom Turkey, because he used to always call me Tom Turkey. So.
Yeah, he's had a nickname for everything.
He did.
Actually, a funny story in Ramadi. I was doing radio watch one night, and then it wasn't dark yet, and I went out, started smoking a cigarette, and I no shit was just like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like looking at something kind of going up, like just moving slowly, going up, green light, going spinning in circles. And like you even asked me before when we were in CAT, was like, why didn't you join the Air Wing? Like you knew all the planes and everything. You could point them out.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking at it and I'm just like, okay, that is nothing that we have. I'm just like, I went in to the COC and I was just like, there's something out there. I don't even know like how to explain it. Like UFO. And everybody comes out and everybody's looking and like, what the fuck is that? And it's just like Captain Wilder's like, okay, I'm gonna call it in. And they call it in and like 5 minutes later we get a response and it's just like, it's a weather balloon with a chem light.
You were pretty sure your people were coming back for you, man.
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck is that, dude? Like, there's no way. And like, I was just like, dude, that is weird. And but like looking at it, it was just like, yeah, weather balloon chem light, huh? Okay.
That's awesome.
One of the things, I don't know if you guys, so we were at that cement soccer field.
Yeah.
And there's an RPG, I think, shot towards us and combat outposts.
Mm-hmm.
I had walked to my truck to like get a water when everything started going off, and so we all started shooting at this house that had this big old giant wall. I think it was next to like the house where the guys were taken out by assassination wise.
Where the snipers were killed.
Yeah, but it was out there. I remember it was one of those kind of like weird patrols where we had Oliver North with us and his cameraman.
Mm-hmm.
Duke, the XO.
Yeah, Lieutenant Wells.
Yeah. One of the air officers. So and we got into this little firefight, shot up the house. We did we got close to it where we were able to kick down the gate and enter the compound. There was like 9 dudes like standing inside the compound, and like they're like, Mister, there's kids in there. There's kids in there. And Anthony and I were like, just like, let's just clear the floor, the first floor, because the house was on fire at this time. I was kind of like, dude, I'm gonna feel bad if there's kids up there and we don't try to do anything.
Yeah.
I went up to the second floor, started crawling, but that whole song, smoke gets in your eyes and makes you teary. Yeah, that happened, and I went as far as I could. I didn't get to the room or anything, and I just felt around on my knees and everything, and crawled back downstairs. And I've never been yelled at, crawled at. It's like, Fuey, your life isn't worth theirs. It's like, you're more important than blah, blah, blah. Fucking episode. That was stupid. Like, don't fucking do that. Even Oliver North. Yeah, you can't be doing that. I was just like thinking, yeah, but
you got a Vietnam ass chewing. That's awesome.
But yeah, everybody yelled at me for going upstairs. It was pretty funny though. Like, I don't know. This happened to you guys. Everybody's different, but did you guys go through heavy fog of war when you got shot at for the first time?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Yeah. The very first time that we got shot at was in the middle of the night on a patrol, and we were walking through, and we were dismounted, walking through the neighborhood. Trucks are driving slowly with no lights on and all that. And it's like, Soo, Soo. And I was like, what is going on? Like, why? I'm hearing these noises. Like, and everybody's like, it sounds like somebody's throwing rocks. Like somebody, just weird. I was like, why is it making that noise? Just stupid, because you think, well, I've heard bullets going down range, the rifle range, and all these machine gun ranges. Like, I'll know what it sounds like when I get shot at. Nope. No fucking clue. And then one pinged off of a Humvee, and that's when we were like, oh shit, that's a ricochet. And all of a sudden, we never found that guy. Never found the origin of where we were getting shot at. Never found that guy. No one had any idea. He got away scot-free.
Nice. Yeah, my story is about that, when everything went to shit in April. They were doing one of those let's do a blockade and block this and block that, and
the cordon search.
Yeah. And I like calling it cordon bleu because that was probably the best meal I had over there.
I forgot about the cordon bleu. No, dude, that was when you went to Junction City and they had the cordon bleu. You were like in heaven. I forgot.
Yeah.
I actually remember. So I'm just going to bullshit and tell a story anyway. But Blake, you were there and looked disgusting. You were as dirty as you possibly could be, covered in dirt and mud and sweat, and you stunk like a foot. And you were like so happy eating one of those fucking cordon bleus. I forgot about those things. That's amazing.
They were amazing out there. It was just like, oh my god, this is.
That was the
so
only
great.
thing. Yeah.
But
anyway, sorry, I fucked up your story. Your cordon search. I imagine it was. I imagine it was on April 6th. Is that the one? Because you guys caught a bunch of high value targets at that day.
No, not that one.
Okay.
That was the one they mentioned in the book. That was the night one.
Yeah.
I don't.
We did the next big cordon search was on April 10th, probably. That was the next one, the big bug hunt.
I think because that was in the farms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was that one. And we were on the flank. Nobody's supposed to be left of us. It was my truck, Jack's, Chico. We had one of those Lioness with us.
Mm-hmm.
Miner, Harrison, and Cagley and myself were dismounted. And so, they had the roads that were up higher than the farms. And it was so funny because the truck takes off. And I'm just like, where did it go? Miner's like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, dude. So I walk up to the road and I'm looking and trying to get calm with them. I'm like, jackass, because that was our call sign, jackass. And it was just like, jackass, jackass. And nobody would answer. And I'm just like, oh, great. And out of nowhere from the right side, this Army Humvee with 2 dudes walking on each side come rolling up, and I'm just like, whoa, nobody's supposed to be on this side. And that was the like that first, like it went past, and I was just like, what was that? And I was just like it happened again. But thing, like just that snap, bam,
Yep.
and I just, for me, it was just like, I don't believe this is happening. Like I don't see any muzzle flashes. And
Yeah.
then it picked up, and the Humvee went down down the side of the embankment into a driveway, and the two dudes were like, "Get to Devil Six," and I'm just like, "Oh, Devil Six, shit, Colonel's out here." I don't think I ever told anybody like he was out there. Like I don't like we're on top. I'm on top of this the embankment, and like you could hear the bullets going by, but to me, it wasn't real. And so I'm just like, la, 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 like looking for muzzle flashes. Finally see like 4. And that's when I was like, oh shit, I am skylining myself like no other. Turn around, start running, but it went into slow motion.
Yeah.
I couldn't, like, I was trying to, like, to me, it felt like I was trying to hug the ground running. Like, that's how close I was trying, like, close to the ground going downhill.
Yeah.
And like I could hear like the rounds hitting the palm trees, like going through the leaves and everything. Like I could hear all of it. I remember sliding into the bottom of this palm tree where Miner and the other guys were, and I just start laughing, like laughing. And Miner's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?" And I was like, "Yeah, these people don't like us here." And he's just like, "Oh shit, dude." And we ended up like having to fight for like an hour or so trying to get back to everybody else. Like, we ended up finding like guys on a rooftop, and like like, hey, let's make sure we get their attention so they don't shoot us. And it happened to be Drake on the rooftop who was gunny, and like, hey, like we're coming in, and we're just like, what the fuck? Jackass left, and like there was just like, oh, they're in the the house over there. And I was just like, when I finally made it over there, I was just like, Jax, what the fuck? He's just like, dude, we got called out. It's like, we were just thought we were just going to come over real quick, and we ended up getting stuck out there because all the fighting. I'm just like, oh my God. And he's like, hey, Fuey, I got to talk to you. And I was just like, what? And he's just like, dude, this lioness chick's crazy, bro. She was like, wanted to keep going outside to see the gunfights and everything. I'm just like, oh, well.
If you like what you've heard, this is a multi-part episode. Make sure you listen to the rest of the story.